Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Jill Valley.
And I'm Dennis Bragg. A day of snow showers across the region today with a little more expected this evening before things taper off.
Our Storm Tracker weather team is tracking some more snow expected to hit tomorrow and continue into the weekend. So for more on all that, let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost, who has a look at our first forecast now. Aaron.
And of course, we do have some warmer air advecting in as this system tracks across the region. One place where it's very evident is the southern half of the Bitterroot Valley. Like you can see here in Hamilton, some very wet roadways. This taken from our first Security Bank ICAM just about an hour or so ago. The further north you run into a little bit more snow cover, roadways that is, and definitely off towards the east. But this system, we're kind of right in the middle of it. So we still have a lot more to go. Winter weather advisories remain in place through tomorrow morning. And of a little bit more concern, these winter storm warnings that are also in effect. We've got more updates coming up shortly.
To keep an eye on all these changing conditions, all you need is a mobile device. Download the KPAX Storm Tracker weather app on your phone. It's free in the Google Play or the App Store. The avalanche danger has been hiked to high in the southern Missions and Swan ranges. Travel in avalanche terrain not recommended as a considerable avalanche danger exists. This according to the West Central Montana Avalanche Center. Logan King tells us the southern Missions and southern Swan mountain ranges have taken the brunt of the storm so far, and more snow up there is going to stress that snowpack even more. And with high avalanche warnings, that could deter some people from enjoying the Montana backcountry, although it doesn't have to mean you can't go out and have fun anyway. Packing the right equipment, like a transceiver to send and receive a signal to members of your group, can help keep you safe in these conditions. Having a shovel and an avalanche probe can also help. But understanding your surroundings is the easiest way to have fun and stay safe in the backcountry.
Stay off them slopes greater than 30 degrees. Wind-loaded slopes where the wind obviously has pushed the snow from one side of the mountain over to another side, and them are generally very unstable. But yeah, if it's a high avalanche danger, you just, you just play in a lower elevation and flatter stuff.
And you can check avalanche conditions online before you head out by going to our website.
Crews are tearing down the first viable Frank Lloyd Wright designed building to be lost in more than 40 years. The teardown began last night after a failed negotiation to buy the property. Plans to demolish the Whitefish Building first surfaced over a year ago. Since then, organizations including the Montana Preservation Alliance and the Frank Lloyd Wright Building Conservancy have been trying to put a deal in place to buy the structure. On Monday, they made an offer, $1.7 million, the full asking price, to 341 Central LLC out of Chicago. But there were disagreements over the security deposit. Concerns over the building's condition led the deal to fall through before yesterday's deadline. The building was on the National Register of Historic Places, and there's no timetable to when this demolition will be finished.
State Superintendent of Public Instruction Elsie Arnson's been working with the Montana Contractors Association to raise awareness about careers in construction among school kids. Today, she spoke with students from Flathead and Glacier High School at the site of a home construction project that's being done by students. It's part of a program that teaches students about the construction trade and filling the industry's need for skilled workers. Arnson got a tour of one of the completed homes and the two that are currently under construction. She spoke with students about how every person has their own path to forge, and that just because you don't go to college doesn't mean you won't have a successful career. She talked about the importance of being engaged in school and mentioned learning also happens outside the classroom.
It's not just about learning inside the school, it's about learning in the community. It's benefiting the community. It's making not only their community proud, but Montana proud.
The last two houses being constructed by the students should be done in May.
The first day of candidate filing for the 2018 elections in Montana got off to a lively start today in Helena.
As MTN's Mike Dennison reports, scores of candidates for state and federal office paid their fees to get on the ballot, including a half-dozen hopefuls for Montana's top two races this year.
The battle for John Tester's U.S. Senate seat and Montana's only U.S. House seat topped the ticket in 2018, and candidates for both races came to Helena Thursday to make things official. 4 of the 5 Democrats who want to challenge Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte paid their $1,740 filing fee at the Capitol, including former state senator Linda Moss of Billings, who was first in line.
I work at the grassroots, and I plan to take my grassroots work to the halls of Congress.
Close behind Moss were the 2 Democrats who've raised the most money in the campaign so far, Billings attorney John Heenan and former Land Trust Director Grant Keir of Missoula.
We need somebody that's going to stick up for Montanans, not do the bidding of corporations and the ultra wealthy.
I care about Montana values, and I think I have the track record of working across party lines with people of all types in Montana to help them succeed every day.
Keir reported later Thursday that he raised $248,000 during the last 3 months of 2017, putting his fundraising total at $450,000. Heenan hasn't released his totals yet, but it's expected to be about $500,000. Former State Representative Kathleen Williams of Bozeman is another Democrat in the House race, and she filed Thursday as well, saying her depth of experience makes her the best person to take on Gianforte.
My 3 terms in the legislature gave me a strong, progressive advocacy and voting record, while also being honored by the Chamber of Commerce for my work with businesses.
Gianforte will file later in his quest to win a second term after winning the seat in a special election last May. 2 of the half-dozen Republicans hoping to challenge Tester also filed Thursday. State Senator and orthopedic surgeon Al Olszewski of Kalispell and Troy Downing, a high-tech entrepreneur and businessman from Big Sky. Downing, a first-time candidate, said his non-political business background is just what voters are looking for.
I think that America's hungry for people who've had success in the private sector, who've built companies, who've paid payrolls. I think that's important.
Dozens of legislative candidates joined the fray Thursday, and both the Democratic and Republican state parties had their troops on display with dueling news conferences in the Capitol. It's hard to draw any political conclusions from the first day of filing, but one thing seems clear. Voters will have plenty of faces to choose from in the races for U.S. Senate and U.S. House in Montana this year. Mike Dennison, MTN News at the Capitol.
More people could throw their hat in these races. The final deadline for candidates to file in Montana is March 12th.
In the local races, the biggest story, a new candidate gunning for the seat of Flathead County Sheriff, former undersheriff and co-founder of Two Bear Air, Jordan White, is jumping into the race. White has lived in the Flathead for most of his life, has about 19 years of law enforcement experience. Current Sheriff Chuck Curry had appointed White to the position of undersheriff when he was elected 7 years ago. White resigned his appointed position, though, 2 years later to create Two Bear Air Rescue, the helicopter rescue program that serves both Montana and Idaho. He left Two Bear Air last year to further his career in law enforcement. He's going to host a campaign kickoff at the Split Rock Cafe in Kalispell later on this month.
There's an urgent new warning today from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and Ford about specific Rangers with Takata airbags.
Chris Van Cleve reports from Washington.
Ford is telling owners of about 3,000 model year 2006 Rangers built at the now closed Twin Cities assembly plant to stop driving the small trucks immediately. An exploding Takata airbag inflator killed a Ranger driver in West Virginia in July. Ford figured out the airbag inflator was made on the same day as the one in Joel Knight's Ranger. The 52-year-old South Carolina man was killed in 2016 when he struck a cow in the middle of the road. His airbag deployed and a piece of shrapnel flew out of it and into his neck. The vehicles are already under recall, but now Ford wants all Rangers built between August 10th and December 15th, 2005 not to be driven until repairs are made. The company said in a statement, "We take this matter very seriously and are advising owners of these specific 2006 Ford Rangers to stop driving their vehicles so dealers can make repairs immediately." Ford says it will be notifying owners by mail, phone, and text, and has the parts on hand to replace those inflators. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said it's critical owners get the message and said it's extremely important that all high-risk airbags are tracked down and replaced immediately. NHTSA has now recalled more than 42 million cars with Takata airbags, and the inflators are now linked to at least 21 deaths worldwide. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Washington.
Ford says it will send mobile repair teams to truck owners' homes, tow vehicles to a local dealership for repair, and provide loaner vehicles all free of charge. You won't all miss Aaron's forecast with important details you need to know about the winter weather system hitting the region. Find out about the snow totals in just a few minutes.
We'll also take you to California for the latest on the deadly mudslides as search and rescue teams make progress. More ahead here on KPAX.